The member for Canning.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Will the Treasurer outline to the House how the Morrison government's economic plan and responsible fiscal management has been working to ensure that the government lives within its means? And is the Treasurer aware of any alternative plan that would damage the economy?
The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Canning for his question and note that he has served this country with distinction in uniform, Mr Speaker. And, Mr Speaker, when we came to government, unemployment was rising, investment was falling and the budget was deep in the red. Since coming to government, we committed to our plan to create more than 1 million jobs, and we've created more than 1.5 million jobs, Mr Speaker.
Member for Sydney.
We committed to reduce taxes, Mr Speaker,
Member for
and we
Rankin.
have passed through the parliament more than $300 billion worth of tax cuts, and we committed to the Australian people that we would bring the budget back into balance, and we've delivered the first balanced budget in 11 years, Mr Speaker. But I'm asked, are there any alternative approaches? Are there any alternative approaches? Well, we know those opposite prefer well-being budgets to balanced budgets, Mr Speaker. And they are led, they are inspired by their spiritual leader, that member for Rankin, Mr Speaker, the member for Rankin, Mr Speaker. And I was thinking yesterday, as the member for Rankin was coming into the chamber, fresh from his ashram deep in the mountains of the Himalayas, barefoot into the chamber, robes flowing, incense burning, beads in one hand, well-being budget in the other, I thought to myself, what would the yoga position that the member for Rankin would assume?
The Treasurer will resume his seat. Members on my right. The member for Goldstein. Members on my right. The minister will cease interjecting. The manager of opposition business on a point of order.
Direct relevance, Speaker.
I'm just going to point out to the Treasurer just before he... Member for Chifley, just... The question did ask about alternative policies, and I'm listening very closely. I'm just going to point out to the Treasurer that no one would enter the chamber in the way he says, because it would breach the dress code in the standing orders. The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, as the member for Rankin was approaching the dispatch box, I was thinking, what position would he be assuming to deliver the first wellbeing budget? And I'm no expert.
The Leader of the Opposition, the Minister for Agriculture, the member for Rankin, the Leader of the Opposition.
Yes, Mr Speaker, I'm defying your ruling. If they can't talk about the plan, the word for today, because sentences are too hard, he should just sit down.
The Leader of the Opposition will resume his seat. He's not defying my ruling, and I don't want to go through all the Hansard history where there's been similar answers to questions on both sides. The Treasurer has the call.
So I thought to myself, what position would he be assuming at the dispatch box? Was it position number 5, the downward dog, Mr Speaker? No. Was it position number 6, the reclining pigeon, Mr Speaker? No. Position number 7, Mr Speaker, the twisted deer, Mr Speaker. But then the vision came to me. Through the incense, Mr Speaker. What was the position? Number 8. It was the sleeping swan.
No, the Treasurer will remove that prop.
It was a sleeping swan, Mr Speaker. Position number 8. The sleeping swan. Beads in one hand, robes flowing, incense burning. Here was the member for Rankin's homily to his mentor, the former member for Lilly. Mr Speaker, we all know, the Australian people know, a wellbeing budget is just another word for Labor's higher taxes and more debt.